Hey everyone, this is Alan from BMW Durham, back again with another video, and we've got a new arrival. It is the 2022 BMW iX xDrive50 in mineral white. Alright, so this is our first production 2022 BMW iX xDrive50. So we do have the walk-up and walk away features here, so I just want to see what happens, because as I understand they have a little bit of a light show that goes on. So lights slowly fade away, and then when you unlock, lights come back on like that. So that's kind of cool. Alright, so if we approach from the front, BMW loves to share that these are the thinnest headlights to date so far in a BMW. So we've got some LED lights going on over here. That looks pretty cool. And this does have the M Sport design, so that's why we have these large air intakes on the side here with this triangular design. And we've got that huge Shy-Tech kidney grille. So this is a series of sensors here, and this is also self-healing with heat. Now, what I've been told by BMW Canada is if you do have a dent or a little scratch on here, what you want to do is just let it heal on its own. Don't take a heat gun to it, because that will speed up the aging process with that front there. And I also noticed this to me reminds me of the driving style analysis image that we saw in iDrive7, and I don't know if that's any type of homage to that at all or what have you. And also, this is where you put the washer fluid. There is no access to any type of frunk or anything like that on this vehicle, so that's pretty interesting as well. And we have these large 22-inch aerodynamic wheels. So let me just give you the side profile view here. And we've got this brand new door style, or door handle style, that we haven't seen on any other car yet but the iX. And if you've watched my previous iX video, you'll know that there is a hidden key cylinder just in there. And it does have the comfort access, accessing in a slightly different way with the button for lock over here. And just wanted to take a look. So obviously there's no exhaust tips here. This is an electric vehicle. So we do have these large rear diffusers here. And it's got an interesting design by having some contrast in color here. And we do have the ability to kick our foot underneath to have it open. And once it opens, you'll notice that the lights go up with the tailgate. So we do have these additional lights here for safety in case you're accessing something from the back here. We want to be able to make sure that other drivers know that you're there. Now up here, we've got one cargo cover. Down here, we've got the secondary cargo cover. And there's quite a bit of space down here. There is our flex charging cable, our carpeted floor mats. You have a little elastic band on this side. And you have over here 12-volt plug, grocery bag hanger, and the ability to fold down the seats from the back here. A little glow-in-the-dark handle here just in case you get stuck in here. And down here, a little bit more space for tools and such. And we've got a little tire air inflator kit here as well. And I think, put this back down. We have the button up here that closes the hatch, but we can also use our foot down here, just like in many of our other vehicles, to close it up. Now, another interesting aspect to this vehicle is that, as far as I understand, BMW claims that this is the most aerodynamic vehicle we've ever built in terms of drag coefficient. So, to me, that's kind of crazy for the fact that this is a large SUV, and this is more aerodynamic than, say, an M3 or an M5 or something like that. To me, that's kind of crazy. So if we open this rear door, let's take a look at what we've got inside here. So We were fortunate enough to get this car with Bowers & Wilkins, so there's 30 speakers in here. This is your handle or your button to open and close the door. You've got your window switch here as well. And down here, there's an emergency release just in case if there's some type of fail, so you can still manually open the door. Now that I've actually got the door open, you can start to see that carbon fiber reinforced plastic tub that is basically the chassis for the vehicle. And take a look at these back seats here. So everything in this vehicle is from recycled materials, so it is very sustainable. And what's nice is when you sit back here, so first and foremost, we have our armrest here with the cup holders, so that's great. And then we have speakers all over the place, so we've got some speakers up on the ceiling, we've got speakers hidden all over the place. And in front of me here, so I have two USB Type-C charging ports. There's the BMW accessory port. Down here, we've got some pockets on the back of the seat. We also have on the back of the center console some vents, rear climate controls, rear heated seats for the two outer positions, and we've got the same type of configuration on the back of the driver's seat as well. Now, there are also coat hanger up here, and you also have this little coat hanger up here as well that swivels around, and you've also got some vents here as well for some air. But there's also ambient heat that can be activated in this car, similar to the way that your heated steering wheel will work. It just heats up some of the door panels on the front, so you can get the heat from that, as opposed to only air blowing heat on you. All right, so I'm in the back of the iX, and there is a ton of headroom. Like, there's almost a half a foot above my head, and as far as knee room goes, I've got tons of space as far as knee room goes. As a rear passenger back here, I would be 10 out of 10. I'd have no problem being back here, as opposed to wanting to drive the car myself. All right, now if we enter the vehicle from the passenger side, so here we can see more of that carbon fiber goodness. Now what they've done here is they've put the memory seats in a position where you can actually see them, and they put the steering controls or the power seat controls on the door in these nice crystals. So I don't know, I think that just looks awesome. We've got unlock, lock, your door handle, and down here for the front doors we also have that emergency release, and interesting little finger grooves here for the door handle, which I thought was a little bit different. More of that Bowers & Wilkins goodness. And when you look inside here, take a look at that beautiful iDrive 8 display, curved display. We've got the iX specific steering wheel, and in the center here we've got this double-decker center console design, and nothing in the middle here. So take a look at this. We've got this crystal iDrive controller, and we've got the crystal shifter and the crystal start stop button. So one thing you'll notice right away, this vehicle doesn't actually have a park button or position. There's just an emergency parking brake. It also has auto hold, and it also has brake regeneration mode as opposed to just drive. Now, one thing I will tell you guys about this iDrive controller, it feels amazing tactically to turn it, but instead of having it tilt left, right, up, and down, it slides, which is weird because it has a different feel. You can still write things on the surface here, and also when you press it, it's a very hard press, if you ask me. Now, another thing is, if you're a longtime BMW driver, they've changed the position of where these buttons are. So the home is now kind of at like a 10 o'clock position. Media is still at the 11 o'clock position, which is the right spot. Telephone is now at the 12 o'clock, and nav is at like 1 or 2 o'clock. I think home should be where telephone is, and nav's in the right spot. The back button should be at the 7 o'clock position, but they've done away with all of that. Now, they did also put this crystal volume wheel. You've got fast forward and rewind right here. The My modes are basically so you can change from personal, sport, or fuel efficient. And I'm just gonna turn the volume down there. And we've also got the park assist button. This button here will allow us to go to our driving settings, and this button here allows the car to raise up if you need be, which is interesting. Now, you have a little phone holder here that has an opening at the bottom so that you can plug a charger through it, which is kind of neat. And there's a wireless charger down here, 2 more USB Type-C charging ports, 12-volt plug, and 2 cup holders. Interesting position for the cup holders there. And if I press this button, you'll have the center console open up. So you have a little tray at the back here, and it's very, very deep here. So you can put all kinds of stuff in there if you need to. Now up here, we've got our interior lighting. There is the interior camera that you can use for theft deterrence. Like if somebody breaks into your car, it'll automatically take a picture of the person and send it to the My BMW app. Or you could use it just to take fun family photos, make some memories on a family trip, for instance, that sort of stuff. And up here we have the buttons that will let the light in or block the light for the sunroof up here. So let me just adjust that. So if I press this, now it is translucent. Now it is not. So it's really hard to see, but let me just see if we can get that effect again. So if we do that, so we can see that there are some things out there like a fence and whatnot, but if I press this again, now you can't see it. So that's how it blocks out the sun, which is, I think, something that's really cool. I mean, we can't open the sunroof, which is a little bit of a shame, but to have that feature, it's pretty neat. All right, so now I want to see what it looks like when you enter the car. So there is the welcome animation. That pretty well looks just about the same as the i4. Sorry, I didn't get a really good angle of that. So over here, this makes it so only the driver has control over the windows. All 4 windows are one touch up and down. This is to adjust which side mirror. That's to fold the side mirrors in. And you've got the same type of buttons over here as you did on the other side, which is nice. That's cool. So if you press that, you go to the driver options. So in this car, the driver's seat does have a massage function, but we don't have ventilated seats in this model that we received. And down here, we've got a very simplified lighting control layout. So there's auto, and that looks like a lighting menu. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And then there's an off button. And of course, there's no hood release handle or anything like that down here. We've got a power steering adjustment over here. You've got your signal indicators. So look at that. One thing I just noticed, there's no BC button. What? And then on the steering wheel here, we've got your cruise control functions here. So it looks like on, off, set, and then mode, increase speed, decrease speed. And then over here, we've got your radio control. So the plus and minus definitely have to be volume. If I press this menu button, okay, so we can get, so this is where we can change the layout. I see. So this would have been nice to know when I did the i4 video, but the controls are different in the i4, so I'll have to go and revisit that so I can learn that, because obviously these things are important for me to know. And then over here, we've got our wiper stock. So it looks like it's the traditional one press down is one wipe, one press up is automatic rain sensing wipers. The further you go up, the faster it'll wipe. This is the intermittent wiper speed. This is the rear wiper. Twisting and holding will spray the rear. Pulling and holding will spray the front. Now I'm just gonna get in here. Oh yeah. I'm gonna shut the door. So let's see what we've got going on here. And I'm just gonna adjust my seating position a touch. So let's actually start the car. All right, so you get that interesting Hans Zimmer sound. It's telling us in here that we've got 92% charge, parking brakes on, what time it is. We've got a speedometer, we've got power meter on the other side. Outside temperature, oh my gosh, it's 13 degrees outside, and 418 kilometers range with a 92% charge. So that is pretty good. Now, let's talk a little bit about what we have over here with iDrive 8. So this iDrive 8 looks fantastic, but some interesting things. So we've got these huge vents here. We have a max front defrost, a rear defrost, and a emergency four-way flashers, and some controllers here to open and close the vents. Mostly everything is controlled within the iDrive menu. So let's take a look. Now, a couple of things that I've already figured out, just because I've been playing with this a little bit the last day or two. So we have menu, we have media, we have telephone, we have nav. They've really tried to simplify things here by just having these 4 selections. Now, if you want to do anything with the climate, so right away you can always adjust your temperature for the driver and passenger right here. But if you need to go into further specifics, you can click on climate menu, and then from this menu you have heated steering wheel on or off for driver. That's the ambient heat coming off the door panel. That's the heated seat, your fan, and then this is where you'd like to direct the fan. And then you can go over here, same things for the passengers, but the passenger of course doesn't have the heated steering wheel. Now we can also click on sync here if we want everything synced, and yeah, everything looks pretty good here, so I'm going to click that off. So digital key, this is going to be the first vehicle that gets BMW Digital Key Plus, which will be only compatible with certain Apple iPhones because it needs the ultra wideband technology. So if you're familiar with the digital key, it makes your phone turn into a key for the car. Now with Digital Key Plus, it'll go the next step and allow you to leave your phone in your pocket, and when you approach the vehicle you can just touch the inside of the door handle and have it unlock, just like you could with Comfort Access with the actual key. And when you get into the vehicle, you do not have to put your phone onto the wireless charging tray or communication pad. You can just press the brake and press the start button and the car will start, just as if you're using the real key. So that will be a really cool innovation to see once we get Digital Key Plus going. And once I have an example that I can use of that, I'll definitely make a video for you guys to see that. Now, here's another thing. There is a drive recorder here. So for those of you who don't know what the drive recorder is, it's using 4 cameras that are installed on the vehicle that are constantly recording. If you want those recordings to save, you need what is called a trigger. There are 2 types of triggers that you can use. One is a manual trigger, one is an automatic trigger. So we have it set up right now to automatically record 20 seconds before the trigger and 20 seconds after the trigger. So in this case, the possible trigger would be something like, to give you an example, if you crash the car, that is considered an automatic trigger. Another trigger would be a manual trigger. So other than actually going to the start recording button on the drive recorder, which is just right over here, okay, you could also press and hold this park assist button like so, and that acts as a manual trigger. So we're gonna go for a little ride. I'm currently in, what mode is this? This is called personal mode. So this is pretty well, as far as I can tell, what is supposed to be comfort mode. Good balance of performance, fuel economy, and it's somewhere in the middle, default setting. So one thing I can definitely say, now that I've driven a couple of different electric cars, is they all have crazy insane torque. And I think it just becomes a matter of how much crazy insane torque does each vehicle have. So let's take a look. Okay, so we're in the personal mode. If I just punch it right here. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. Oh, my neck. That was a lot of torque in a very small amount of time. Now, I like the feel of the steering wheel, and I like the flat bottom of it, but I think I actually prefer the steering wheel that's in my M240i. Uh-oh, there's something going on down the street here. I think I gotta turn around. I don't even think I can continue making this video here. Let's get out of here. Okay, so this car is extremely fast. Yeah, so there was a whole bunch of cops down the street down there, so we didn't get to go down there and try to do what we're going to try to do. But that's okay, because I'm going to just switch now into sport mode. So automatically, the view of my dash changes, things turn into a much more of a spicy color. So let's hopefully, I know it's a little bit later on in the day, hopefully the traffic is not too bad. Maybe we can get a chance to see what this is like. Yeah, the sun is going down slowly, but now that it is after daylight savings time, we're getting a little bit more of that sunshine, which is good. And let's just see. I'm going to actually put it onto the regenerative braking mode. Oh yeah, when you go to sport mode, you can hear those like Hans Zimmer sounds a little bit better. So I'm in one pedal driving mode, which feels fine. Okay, so let's get onto the highway for a moment so we can see what that's like. Alright, that was very fast. Now, despite the fact that this has the best drag coefficient of any BMW to date, this is obviously a much bigger car than the i4, and this definitely accelerates quickly for its size, but it doesn't accelerate at the same rate as the i4 M50 did. So let's continue on. So we are in a bit of a heavy traffic. It is about rush hour time right now. Feels pretty good on here. I'm just gonna go back over to my modes and go to the efficient mode now. So all the sound goes away, but the torque is still there. So like, I don't know how you're supposed to be efficient if it's just got that much kick to it, to be honest. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could just be in efficient mode the whole time, and it's still insanely fast. Like, crazy. And it doesn't look like the highway is actually that much better going the other direction either, which is surprising, but it'll drop us off very close to the exit we need to get off of. So let's still try that. And I'm actually just gonna go back, see if we can make this light. I should be fine here. All right, so for a big SUV like this, it definitely corners pretty well. Let's see, my modes. Let's go to sport mode. Yeah, so I can feel the G's pulling me out, but the car is very neutral despite its size. What an interesting sound they put in here. I'm actually really glad they did this. When I first heard about the partnership with BMW and Hans Zimmer, I was a little bit skeptical of what they're really up to, but this is definitely an electric car sound. I don't know if you guys can actually hear it in here. The sound deadening in here is amazing, so I hope you can hear that pretend pumped in Hans Zimmer iconic sound. I don't even know what to call it. I'm gonna just call it the Hans Zimmer. And even with when I come out of the regenerative braking mode, you can still feel it doing it, but it actually feels much more like a regular non-EV vehicle. I mean, I think until I adopt an actual EV vehicle myself, I don't know exactly how much I really like the one pedal driving. Like, it is a cool idea. I don't know if I really like the feel of it though. Hey BMW, take me to BMW Durham.
Just a moment. I am compiling the results for you.
Oh my gosh.
I have found these.
Okay, so right now I'm using
Expected drive time is 2
the
minutes.
AR
In 400 meters,
navigation.
turn left at the
So
end
what
of the road
happens
onto
is
RR41.
when you get close to where it's supposed to turn, it actually shows the front view camera, and there's arrows on the
Turn
screen
left at the
showing
end
me
of the
where I
road
should
onto
go,
RR41.
which is kind of cool. I've never seen that before because I've never had a chance to drive this car. Now the only thing about that is I think I'm confident that's only going to work in the iDrive maps. So if you're planning to use this with Google Maps or Waze or something like that, I don't think that that's going to be possible. But it does make it really cool for the iDrive maps to actually do that.
200 meters, turn left at the traffic light onto Achilles Road.
Yeah, that's really cool. So I'm seeing a video of me driving up here, and there's like a left arrow pointing
Turn left
here,
at the traffic
telling me to
light
basically
onto
turn
Achilles
left.
Road.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm just gonna grab the, I'm gonna just change camera angles for a second so you can see what I'm talking about. So right now on the dash, it's showing me to turn left here, and then there's some arrows here so I know what I'm doing. I think that's pretty cool. Hope I get an advanced green. All right, whoa, so much torque. So I've made the turn, and then it'll tell me to turn left here as well, I'm sure. All right, so I just wanted to play a bit around with this dash here. So I want to just press this button here. So we've got content. So we can change what we're looking at here. So it looks like digital speedo, kilowatts per hour in terms of usage, how far we can travel with how much range. We've got an assisted view, and it looks like you can change what you see in your heads-up display with this. So it looks like there is a standard view, a directional view, so it's a standard view with a compass, assisted view, so that's the view that was down here. Oh, that's cool that you can have that in the heads-up display. And then we have a reduced view. So I'm okay with the, let's look at the directional view there. And then we've got route preview. And then we have map. Okay, so you can get a little map view down here like iDrive 7. Or you can listen to see what you're listening to. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And then if I press music, and that shows up in the heads-up display just like it did before. So I could listen to music, or I could switch over to Sirius. All right, yeah, that's pretty cool. Now on the steering wheel as well, we've got the mode button. So what does that say? Oh, that's for cruise control. So I didn't get a chance to actually try this on this test drive, but it looks like, based on what I see in the heads-up display, we've got assisted driving and we've got distance control. That's cool. I like that. And also just wanted to show you guys, if I switch the views here, so efficient looks like this, and then, whoops, wrong button, and then personal looks like this. Got that bronze color, and then if we go to sport, you get this more refined view here, which is kind of cool. All right, interesting. All right, everybody, so that was my tour of the brand new 2022 iX xDrive50. This vehicle is really cool. It's really awesome. it's really, both the i4 and the iX have really opened my eyes to EVs. There's a lot of potential here. I still like internal combustion engines more for now, but I'm a little bit more open now to an EV, whereas before I wasn't really digging it too much. But these cars are actually phenomenal. If you liked the video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching.